Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Saturday morning. Yeah, it's a Saturday morning. Don't usually do the briefings on the weekends, but hey, we've got weather going on now and into next week. And all of that is coming into a better agreement about what we should see over the next, let's say 5 or 6 days. So I'll show you all of that. But I think what I've been looking at so far this morning, as I look out the window of the home weather office, it's been raining, but it's a light, gentle rain. It's not like it's a big time downpour. And I think for areas like Sacramento and Stockton, Modesto, and the foothills from El Dorado County to the south, there's going to be light rain, or in many cases, hardly any rain during the course of the day today. And the snow levels are pretty high. It's raining in the Tahoe Basin, it's raining on the west slope. And that is likely to continue today, tomorrow, and even Monday. So travel in the Sierra for the next couple of days is going to be okay. I mean, it's not going to be pretty up there, but it's going to be likely, in most cases, too warm to get any snow on the passes. Like I said, the rain so far has been pretty modest. If anything, the models have overdone us a little bit. So this is this is the storm total, if you will, around Sacramento County. Most areas coming in around 1/3 of an inch. You get into southwest Placer County, areas like toward Loomis and Rockland, up toward 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch of rain. Stockton's just barely over 1/10. And into Modesto, we have very little rain, a couple of tenths. Tuolumne County, similar, about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain. Let's go a little farther to the north. Get into Amador County here along Highway 88. We have a couple of spots that then push up over 1 inch. You get toward the Placerville area, more than 1/2 inch, up toward Pollock Pines, 1.5 inches. And then you get into the American River watershed here, and you can see all of these areas are up around 1 inch, 1.5 inches of water. Let's go a little bit farther to the north, and yes, same sort of thing. These are the areas that have been wettest. Around the Oroville area, generally 1/3 to 1/2 inch of rain, but you go just a little bit farther to the east, and you start getting these totals that you start squeezing out 1 inch, 1.5 inches of rain so far. One spot here over 2 inches. Let's go over to the Coast Range, because here too the rain has been pretty good, as usually happens. More than 1 inch of rain in some of the wetter spots here. But that's, since the rain started yesterday morning, and those are very manageable amounts of rain considering how dry it has been lately. So yeah, no issues from the rain. And with the kind of rain we're going to see today, tomorrow, and Monday, at least most of Monday, I don't see any issues. So I know the word flood has been tossed out a lot. There was a flood watch, I think there still is, up and down the valley and the foothills. But I just can't see the rain rates getting there over the next couple of days to cause that. Now, again, we may see that change later on, because what happens is you get into a case like this, it's the cumulative effect. A couple of storms going by, it's the cumulative effect that can give you the issue of some flooding. It's certainly not when the rain starts, like what we've been seeing right now. So if you've been concerned about maybe your property flooding because it's flooded in the past, I don't think you have that concern over this weekend. We'll see what happens next week. A lot of clouds streaming into California right now, and I think that's the way it's going to go. But you can see the way these clouds are angled. They're going farther to the north through the northern third of the state. The middle part of the state around Sacramento and toward Modesto is just cloudy, but not all that wet. And then in Southern California, hardly anything going on. And then farther out here in the Pacific, there's a low developing out in here. We have the nice moisture streaming up, and all of that will eventually be bringing us some rain. And here's the way it looks on that precipitable water chart. Here's that low. Here's that moisture it's tapping into. So from the tropics on up, and then streaming moisture into California. That'll bring us some rain. And this is tomorrow. The rain is generally to the north. I'll show you all of that here in the models in just a second. And then it's into Monday night. This is Monday morning. That line is much farther to the north, so I think a lot of Monday, the daylight hours are going to be dry, and then it's Monday night and into Tuesday that brings us a really good shot of rain, and it'll get colder to bring in some snow as well. There'll be a bit of a break on Wednesday before we see this next little slog of moisture come our way. And right now, the models are pretty impressive with this little thing. There should be some pretty good dynamics with that, even though the moisture doesn't look all that impressive. All right, let's go to the HRRR. I will note that the HRRR has been too wet so far. So just, keep that in mind as I show you some of the totals that this is expecting. But this is how it's showing the course of the day today. This is at noontime today. This rain might be a little bit overdone. I think we'll see steady rain on the west slope, especially from Amador County to the north. I think farther south we'll see a little bit less. But generally, the trend as we head into tonight is going to be to have this line lift to the north, and the snow levels are likely going to stay at and above 7,000 feet during the day today. Let's go into Sunday morning. This is Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Some showers, but around Sacramento County and into Placer County and that sort of thing. But this is where all the precip is. So it's Redding, it's Del Norte County, it's northern Mendocino County, Humboldt County, Trinity County. These are the areas that see the rain. Very little rain once you get south of Butte County, and hardly any rain once you get south of Stockton. So yeah, that's Sunday morning, and it's going to stay that way throughout the day on Sunday. This is Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock. So while there will be some light rain, accumulations here should be on the lighter side with all the heavy rain farther to the north. And then watch how that line even pivots a little bit farther to the north as we get into Monday. This is Monday morning, and that's as far out as this model goes. And as you can see around Sacramento, we are dry. So the morning commute on Monday, and actually much of the daylight hours on Monday, I would think that from Chico through Modesto will be dry. There will be a kind of soupy conditions with light precipitation in places like Grass Valley and Colfax and Auburn, as well as Placerville, as well as into much of Plumas County. But all of that is rain. You don't see anything in the way of snow. The snow is well off to the north. You have warmer air being pushed in. And let me show you 24-hour precipitation. Let's make sure I get 24-hour. This one only lets me do 12-hour precip. But as you can see, this is over 12 hours. You get very little rain. Let me go back to let's see, this would be Sunday. This would cover Sunday during the day. Yeah, a couple of tenths of an inch of rain around Sacramento, more in the Feather River Basin. But again, this model has been overdoing the rain quite a bit. All right, this is the NAM. A similar pattern. And that's one thing I like is the models are in pretty good agreement. This is into Saturday evening. We have rain on the west slope. We have rain in the Sierra. And as we head into the day Sunday, that line again lifts to the north. So that's Sunday morning. Sunday afternoon, the best rain is north of Sacramento, but these rain rates should be modest. The exception there being the Feather River Basin, where we will continue to see that bullseye precip. Heading into the day Monday, that's Monday morning, that line lifts to the north. Now look at Monday. This is Monday around noon. This is early afternoon. This is late afternoon. And then this is 7 o'clock in the evening. Finally, this line begins to come back our way. As it does so, it'll drag down colder air, bringing snow to the Sierra. As you can see here, this is Monday night. The wind will pick up a little bit, and that looks like a good soaking rain throughout much of the day Tuesday. And that should be our best precipitation out of this round. This is Tuesday afternoon around 4 o'clock. All right, let me go to this one. Will give me 24-hour precip. All right, so in that 24-hour period, so this is for the day Tuesday, look at the total around Sacramento. 2 inches of rain, yeah. And in the Feather River Basin, 3 inches, up toward Grass Valley, more than 2 inches. So that's that 24-hour period. So that's the rain we see on Tuesday. Let me back this up. What about the rain we see on Monday? Well, the rain on Monday, that bullseye is much farther to the north. Sacramento during the day Monday sees, well, this is actually Sunday night into Monday, sees less than a tenth of an inch of rain. And as you can see, Monday is dry in the San Joaquin Valley. It's dry in the foothills south of El Dorado County. And let's back up another 24 hours. And so this is the 24-hour period covering the day on Sunday. Same thing. The valley is dry. Sacramento sees about a third of an inch of rain, but the bullseye remains in the Feather River Basin. Let me back up to the beginning. So again, these are 24-hour totals. And just watch how the totals shift to the north, right here. And then they'll shift back to the south. There it is, shifting to the north, and then shifting back to the south toward the end. So yeah, you can see that movement right here. That's the rain we get on Monday, well to the north, and then it's Monday night, Tuesday, and especially Tuesday, that looks like it could be pretty wet as well as relatively snowy. All right, let's show you the GFS because this will show you more or less the same thing. Again, it's nice to have the models in agreement. We have that line lifting to the north on Sunday. Monday looks dry during the day. Monday, late afternoon, evening, we get back into rain. Steady rain on Tuesday. Looks somewhat stormy too. This looks like a nice gradient here. Good snow in the mountains. Tuesday, not a good day to travel in the mountains. Not a good day for those of you that work outdoors. Everything breaks up on Wednesday, and then there's another storm on Thursday. And I'll take this one with a grain of salt right now, but nice low here, good gradient, really good rain with this. I'll show you the total that they're expecting in a minute. And then that breaks up on Friday, and the sneak peek at next weekend right now is cool and dry. So once again, let me go back to 24-hour precipitation accumulations. And so for that one that we're expecting on Thursday, let me go back up to Friday morning. Friday, let's see. So the rain starts, I'll go from 15Z to 15Z. That shows about an inch of rain, some really good rain on the west slope. I thought there was one here that had even more. Nope. So that gives us about an inch of rain. That'll be some really good snow. Oh, it's the one on Tuesday that this model is really big on. Okay. So this is Monday evening, and this is Tuesday evening. So this shows an inch and a half of rain in Sacramento, 4 inches of rain in parts of Sonoma County, and 5 inches of rain on the west slope in the Feather River Basin. So it's, as I mentioned, in terms of the flood threat, I don't expect we'd see any quote-unquote flood threat, even street flooding or anything like that around Sacramento or Stockton or anything like that. But for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we'll see how wet things get, see how saturated the ground gets. And if that thing on Tuesday comes in and all of a sudden brings us an inch and a half or 2 inches of rain in Sacramento and double that in places like Auburn and Colfax, we'll see what that runoff does. But again, if you're worried about any sort of flood threat this weekend, that's just not going to happen. We'll also have to keep an eye on the Feather River Basin. Not that we're expecting any issues, but I do expect that we could see some pretty impressive inflows into Lake Oroville. But we'll probably talk more about that maybe on Monday and Tuesday to see just how much water flows into Oroville. And again, Oroville doing its job, acting as a buffer, so all that rain that falls above Lake Oroville will kind of get trapped and then released at a steadier level when we need the water. So yeah, Lake Oroville will be doing its job, capturing all that rain. So that's everything I've got for you on this Saturday morning. Just kind of a cloudy, cool day, occasional rain, but I don't expect to see any gully washers. It should be a little bit wetter for those of you that are, let's say, in Plumas County and a little bit farther to the north. We'll see some pretty good rain in Lassen County as well. But around Sacramento, Placer County, and especially points south, just some on-again, off-again rain. Nothing to keep you indoors if you have to get to the grocery store or whatever. So that's everything I've got for you this Saturday morning. Enjoy the day. Make it a good one. I'll talk with you later.